So you're the expert with all the news going crazy about DeepSeek and OpenAI having an issue. What is your opinion on this, and how do you think this could impact the AI industry? Will it have an impact how people view the industry?
I think the release of DeepSeek's models, both their V3 and then their R1 reasoning model, are in some sense a continuation of trends we've seen for a while, but new in one important way, which is we've seen rapid improvement in the efficiency of AI models and diffusion of techniques from leading developers like OpenAI to other labs. And so the release of R1 as a reasoning model just a few months after OpenAI released O1 preview, and it was a similarly capable model, was not shocking, but impressive. I would say the big shock for a lot of people was that you had a Chinese lab that actually was a fast follower and released the best open weights model, and that DeepSeek released it in open, publishing the research with details, including details of how it does the reasoning. So I think overall that's going to accelerate progress in AI in a number of ways. It's going to make it easier for people to access reasoning models and recreate them. There's already been a couple of efforts. Students at UC Berkeley have already released a simple replication at small scale, and there's a larger Hugging Face effort to replicate in open source what the open weight release that DeepSeek produced. So I think it's actually going to accelerate progress in AI. I find it really interesting that some investors thought this was bearish for AI equipment suppliers. I don't agree at all that we're reaching diminishing returns and that therefore you're just going to see commoditization and that there won't be a need for more computing power for training and serving AI models. We're already seeing DeepSeek is struggling to keep up with serving demands. They're slowing down. And, in terms of the efficiency of DeepSeek, it's also true that DeepSeek is more expensive as an API than Google's underreported Flash reasoning model. So, which they've also replicated what OpenAI is doing with O1, but with much less fanfare and attention. So I think it's going to accelerate progress in AI. It certainly created an opportunity for a lot of people to debate different things like changing export restrictions, changing the relations between the US and China. One thing that's clear is that the attitude that all the great AI is being created in the US and ideas that open weight models from Meta or other American companies are the only way that the rest of the world will get access to state-of-the-art AI are completely refuted.
And then when big issues like this erupt, of course, it can have an impact on the crypto industry as well. So do you think there being these issues will have this impact on crypto?
Now, in terms of how this specifically affects the crypto industry, I think access to high quality open models will only accelerate access to useful agents. It's going to accelerate progress across the board. OpenAI is accelerating the roadmaps. Price competition is already underway, so we're seeing better and better reasoning models coming out with lower cost, and decentralizing them, being able to serve them through DeepIn is already a really good option, right? So when I wanted to test out how DeepSeek works without the censorship layer that's required of all Chinese hosting providers, I went to a DeepIn provider, Hyperbolic, and I tested out the model in their environment, and I got a chain of thought that talked about how it handled sensitive matters like how it would answer a question about Tiananmen Square. It's still internally thought through its internalized socialist values and refused to answer the question in a more subtle way than the blatant refusal on DeepSeek's site. But anyway, I think that ability to host and operate these models in a decentralized way will accelerate performance. It's certainly going to make it easier for a variety of people to access models to do whatever they want, including bad things. So, it's going to accelerate all kinds of different use cases, but I think it will accelerate capabilities for Web3 AI.
And it's always difficult when there is negative press out there. Do you think that could actually alter some of the adoption of AI? You're talking about AI agents. Do you think having these issues between DeepSeek and OpenAI could be the trigger to slow down this process? We're talking about a quick adoption, but could this make the whole world a little bit nervous?
I think it's strange to perceive this as, in some sense, negative press. The ability to build better agents more quickly with capable models is enabling, and I think it's just accelerating the ongoing rapid improvements in AI models in terms of reasoning and capability. So I think it's extremely bullish, very much so for people who are building agents and building infrastructure for agents. It presents more of a competitive threat to some of the big labs like OpenAI and Anthropic and Google. They have more competition from more corners, but I think they already expected a lot of competition and are moving quickly to improve their offerings. So I don't think negative press really makes sense here. I also think it's really naive of people who think that somehow we're at a stage that AI is diminishing its progress. This is only a sign of increasing progress, and those increased capabilities are going to drive faster adoption and capability for AI and AI agents.